Hello and welcome to Nightline. I'm Raymond Goh and here are the headlines. Kazana posts first loss since 2005. And AMNO pass formalize political ties. Good morning. Sovereign Wealth Fund Kazana National Berhad posted a loss before tax of 6.3 billion ringgit in 2018, compared with a profit before tax of 2.89 billion ringgit a year earlier. Its managing director, Dato' Shahril Ridza Ridwan, said this was due to fewer divestments, reduced dividend income and higher impairments during a period of transition for Kazana in an unfavorable market.
So looking at 2019, we are very comfortable with the fact that we should be able to return to profitability for 2019, given the fact basically that a lot of the cleanup that we've done for 2018 has already gone through the books. And we don't anticipate basically a very large scale impairments to have to go through again in 2019. We decided basically as far as possible, we'll take it up in 2018. And that puts, I think, the Kazana balance sheet in terms of a good standing to basically then, I think, capitalize on the market upturn that we've already seen in 2019.
Kazana's adjusted net worth also declined by 21.6% to 91 billion ringgit on December 31st, 2018 from 116 billion ringgit a year ago, while its realizable asset value fell to 136 billion ringgit from 157 billion during the same period. The fund declared a dividend of 1.5 billion ringgit for 2018. Amid the weaker results, Kazana revealed a refreshed mandate that divides its investment objectives to commercial and strategic categories. On a separate note, Kazana said it has yet to discuss with the government on any plans to abolish or take over Plus Expressway's Berhad.
At this point in time, I think the government is, as far as I understand, engaging a study to be done. I think that's under the Ministry of Works, right? From a Kazana point of view, as shareholder of Plus, I think we will let Plus handle the discussions with the respective ministries and the government, right? And we'll be advised by Plus from time to time whether there's any new outcomes from that.
He added Kazana understands the priority by the government to discuss with Gamuda Berhad on the takeover of 4 tolls, all located in highly dense areas with high volume of users. Kazana holds 51% shares in Plus through its subsidiary UEM Group Berhad. Commenting on a news report that a sovereign wealth fund was considering the sale of Legoland Malaysia, Dato' Shahril said Kazana has yet to receive any offer from potential suitors to acquire its stake. As of Tuesday, he said the sovereign wealth fund was not in talks with any party. The country's 2 leading Malay parties, AMNO and PAS, have officially confirmed their cooperation on Tuesday. AMNO's Deputy President, Datuk Sri Muhammad Hassan, said the cooperation will focus on bringing together the Muslim-Malay Ummah.
Dan kita tidak akan orang kata akan ada simbol baru UMNO PAS, tidak. Ini bukan merupakan penyatuan 2 parti. Ini adalah merupakan penyatuan ataupun gerak kerjasama 2 parti, ya, untuk kita menterjemahkan agenda penyatuan ummah di negara ini.
Dato' Sri Muhammad said this after attending the AMNO PAS top leadership meeting at the AMNO headquarters on Tuesday. Also present were AMNO Secretary General Tan Sri Anwar Musa, AMNO Youth Chief Dato' Dr. Ashraf Wajdi Dusuki, PAS Deputy President Dato' Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man, and PAS Secretary General Dato' Taqiyuddin Hassan. Dato' Sri Muhammad, however, said that no religion nor race in the country would be abandoned in the AMNO PAS pursuit. He added that the 2 parties have also agreed to continue their cooperation in future elections, even in Parliament. A special technical committee will be formed to further detail out the forms of cooperation between both parties. The technical committee will be headed by AMNO Vice President Dato' Sri Khalid Nordin and PAS Vice President Idris Ahmad. Meanwhile, Dato' Sri Muhammad said AMNO and PAS would inform their respective component parties on this new cooperation. Strict enforcement on the mandatory use of child seats and seat belts will be rolled out nationwide beginning next year. Transport Minister Anthony Loke Siu Fook said awareness campaigns will be carried out and intensified this year before strict enforcement begins, which will include the imposition of penalties on those who do not comply with the regulation.
Peraturan ini akan kita gazetkan pada 1 Januari nanti. 1 Januari 2020. Ada 2 peraturan yang kita akan gazetkan secara bersama, iaitu yang pertama penggunaan child seat, kerusi kanak-kanak, CRS. Yang kedua ialah pemakaian tali pinggang di tempat belakang, di tempat penumpang di belakang. Memang itu sesuatu yang telah pun digazetkan sebelum ini, tetapi tidak pernah ada penguasaan.
A study conducted by the Malaysian Institute of Road Safety Research, MIROS, last year found that the rate of compliance to the ruling was low, at only about 5%. The government introduced the seatbelt ruling for private vehicle drivers and front passengers on April 1, 1979, and had subsequently expanded the ruling to include rear passengers on January 1, 2009. Malaysia and Brunei Darussalam on Tuesday signed a memorandum of understanding on the movement of prisoners between the two countries. The MOU involves the transfer and escort of prisoners or detainees from Sabah and Sarawak through Brunei Darussalam and vice versa. Home Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin signed the MOU for Malaysia and his counterpart Datuk Sri Setia Dr. Awang Abu Bakar Apong for Brunei Darussalam at Perdana Putra in Putrajaya. The signing was witnessed by the Sultan of Brunei, Sultan Hassan Al Bolkiah, and Malaysian Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Also present at the event were Sabah Chief Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdal, Sarawak Chief Minister Datuk Patinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg, and cabinet ministers of both countries. Earlier, Sultan Hassan Al Bolkiah held talks with Tun Dr. Mahathir under the framework of the Malaysia-Brunei Darussalam Annual Leaders Consultation. Tun Dr. Mahathir and Sultan Hassan Al Bolkiah had exchanged visits in May and September last year, following the appointment of Tun Dr. Mahathir as Malaysia's 7th Prime Minister. Malaysia is a major investor in Brunei Darussalam from the ASEAN region, with trade between both countries totaling $981.2 million last year. On a separate issue, Tun Dr. Mahathir held a meeting for almost 2 hours on the review of the Malaysia Agreement 1963 and said there is little disagreement between the federal government and Sabah and Sarawak governments on the matter. The Prime Minister said several working papers on the various government functions were tabled at a special Cabinet Committee to review the Malaysia Agreement 1963 or MA63, and almost all of them would be referred to the Technical Committee for an in-depth study before they are discussed at the next meeting.
Yang ini kita ada beberapa kertas berkaitan dengan various functions of government, dan kita suka sikit nak dapat keputusan. Ada yang kita tak boleh selesai, kita rujuk kepada technical committee. They will look into. For example, stamp duty. Ini memerlukan kajian yang lebih mendalam.
Tun Dr. Mahathir said this at a press conference after chairing the meeting at Perdana Putra in Putrajaya. The meeting was also attended by Sabah Chief Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdal and Sarawak Chief Minister Datuk Patinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg. Others who attended the meeting were Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Law Datuk Liew Vui Keong, Chief Secretary to the Government Datuk Sri Dr. Ismail Bakar, and Attorney General Tommy Thomas. The Special Cabinet Committee to review MA63, which aims to restore the status of Sabah and Sarawak as equal partners in the formation of Malaysia, held its first meeting on December 17th last year. The Home Ministry on Tuesday named 5 other members of the 7-member Royal Commission of Inquiry (RCI) to probe the mass graves in Wang Kelian Perlis. This after its Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin on February 28th announced the RCI will be led by former Chief Justice Tun Arifin Zakaria, with former Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Norian Mai as his deputy. The 5 other members announced by the Home Ministry today are former Head of Prosecution in the Attorney General's Chambers, Dato' Nur Bahri Baharudin, Human Rights Commission of Malaysia Suhakam Chairman Tan Sri Razali Ismail, former Head of Research in the Attorney General's Chambers, Dato' Junaidah Abdul Rahman, former Malaysian Ambassador to Thailand, Dato' Nazira Hussein, and former Deputy Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, Dr. Tan Seng Gyao. The ministry, in a statement, said it received the consent of the Deputy Yang di-Pertuan Agong on January 29th to appoint the RCI members. The commission was set up in accordance with the government's decision of October 26 last year for an investigation on a wider scope to be carried out on the case of human trafficking following the discovery of the mass graves. The RCI is expected to take 6 months, and a report of its findings will be presented to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. The Inspector General of Police said police have received 929 police reports nationwide and opened 16 investigation papers related to insults made against Islam and the Prophet Muhammad, as well as his wife, Sayyidatina Aisha, via social media. Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi Harun said in a statement on Tuesday, following this, action has been taken against 4 individuals. The top cop said that the first arrest on March 3rd in Labuan involved postings by a 29-year-old identified as Muhammad Sharul Nizam Stanley Sigan, who went by the name of Baka Cook on Facebook and has been remanded for 4 days until March 7th. Another suspect, 22-year-old Alistair Kogia, under the account Ayeye, was detained in Bau, Sarawak on Monday and remanded until March 7th. Also held in Petaling Jaya, Selangor on Monday, a suspect named Muhammad Yazid Abdullah that went by the name Yazid Kong. Police are currently tracking down another suspect identified as 43-year-old Elvin Chow Mun Fai, currently believed to be in Kuala Lumpur. All 4 cases are being probed under the Penal Code and the Communications and Multimedia Act. He also issued a stern warning that strict action will be taken on those who misuse social media or communication networks to upload provocative remarks. He also advised the public to be wary of making such statements online, as such acts may jeopardize public order and affect the country's national unity. Kereta Api Tanah Melayu Berhad KTMB Chairman Dato' Ramali Musa spent 6 hours at the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC headquarters in Putrajaya on Tuesday to give his statement over an investigation into an allegation that 90 million ringgit belonging to One Malaysia Development Berhad, 1MDB, was channeled to PAS by AMNO. Also called in to give their statements were Selayang PAS Chief Zaidi Abdul Talib and PAS member Muhammad Khairul Anwar Matzuki. Dato' Ramali, who was appointed to the KTMB post early last month, arrived at the MACC building at about 10 a.m. He was called up by the graft buster after his name was linked to the 90 million ringgit payment received by PAS, which was reported in the Sarawak Report news portal. Zaidi, who was also former Selangor Exco member, and Muhammad Khairul Anwar, an employee of the PAS headquarters, were then seen entering the MACC headquarters 5 minutes later. This after former Pandan Member of Parliament Rafizi Ramli alleged that Dato' Ramali was the individual who was responsible for that payment. It was believed to be for legal service for an out-of-court settlement of a civil suit initiated by past President Dato' Sri Abdul Hadi Awang against the Sarawak Report editor Claire Rucastle Brown. To date, several PAS leaders have been summoned by MACC to assist in the probe, which is being conducted under the MACC Act and the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act. After the breather, Tan Sri Musa Aman slapped with 16 new money laundering. Nightline continues. Tan Sri Musa Aman on Tuesday claimed trial at the Petaling Jaya Sessions Court to 16 new money laundering charges involving 150.9 million ringgit. The 68-year-old former Sabah Chief Minister pleaded not guilty after all the charges were read out to him before Judge Rosina Ayub. He was accused of committing the offences at UBS AG Bank branches in Hong Kong and Singapore. He faces up to 5 years imprisonment if found guilty. Tuesday's proceedings brings Tan Sri Musa's criminal charges to 51. He was previously charged on November 5th with 35 counts of corruption involving $63 million. No bail was set for the charges, but he has already paid a 2 million ringgit bail for the earlier corruption charges. A high-ranking official with a Tan Sri title was among 3 individuals remanded for 3 days to facilitate probe on the development of land belonging to a Batu Caves temple committee. Putrajaya Magistrate Nik Muizuddin Nik Muhammad allowed the trio to be remanded from Tuesday until March 7th to help the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, with the investigations. The 3 individuals, including the Tan Sri, are committee members of a Hindu temple in Batu Caves. On Monday, MACC investigators raided the official's house in Kota Damansara, where they checked documents and 2 luxury cars parked at the residence. The MACC also searched the committee's office in Batu Caves. It was learned that the Tan Sri had been under investigation since last year. It was reported that a Hindu religious association had called on the temple committee to come clean over the development of a parcel of land in Jalan Kuching that belonged to the committee. The association claimed to have received complaints and shocking information related to the land deal. A video clip of a man being beaten up allegedly by the husband of his lover has gone viral on social media. The clip is about 2 minutes 20 seconds long and was posted on Monday. According to Harian Metro, the man admitted to having met the woman through social media and had planned to meet her in Kuala Besut. The incident was said to have taken place in front of a bank in Kuala Besut, Jerte in Terengganu. The man is seen being punched and kicked by a few men, even as he was attempting to reason with them. A woman was seen trying to stop the beating. The Daily said that the man in his 30s said that he did not know that the woman was married. He claimed that the woman told him that she was a divorcee. Besut District Police Chief Superintendent Muhammad Rawi confirmed to the Daily that the incident did take place. He said the man and woman were taken to the Kuala Besut police station after the incident, but no report was lodged. He added that according to police records, the woman has been having issues in her marriage and has lodged a report on domestic abuse before. In Perak, 2 teenagers drowned after a swim at Sungai Pinji near Batu Empat in Tambun Tuesday morning. The victims, both aged 13, have been identified as Alif Azam Azmin Azam and Muhammad Farid Nazmi Abdul Qadir. A Fire and Rescue Department spokesman said a distress call was received at 8:57 a.m. At the time of the incident, the boys were swimming in the river with 3 other friends. Firemen managed to retrieve Alif Azam's body at 10:12 a.m., while Farid Nazmi's body was found at 10:28 a.m. Both were pronounced dead at the scene by Hospital Raja Permaisuri Bainun Ipoh medical personnel. Their remains were later sent to the same hospital's mortuary for post-mortem. In Sarawak, 2 local men were arrested in Cebu on Tuesday in connection with an alleged job scam which led to 8 Sarawakians being stranded in Liberia since February. The 2 suspects were detained after one of the victims lodged a police report Monday night at the Cebu airport upon arrival from KLIA. The 40-year-old victim from Kapit claimed in his report that he received a message on WeChat in December last year from a man who offered him a job at a logging camp in Liberia. However, after some time, the victims found that the jobs actually did not exist and they were forced to sell their personal belongings to survive. In Kuala Lumpur, a man was killed when the car he was driving smashed into a flyover pillar and burst into flames near the National Sports Council of Malaysia building earlier on Tuesday. The identity of the driver has yet to be known, as his body was burnt beyond recognition, while no personal documents were found in the wreckage. The body was handed over to forensics for further action. In Terengganu, a trainee arts and visual education teacher, Muhammad Haman Faiz Hassan, was sentenced to 14 months jail and 6 strokes of the rotan after being found guilty of sodomizing a Standard 6 male student 3 years ago. According to the charge sheet, the 28-year-old accused sodomized the then 12-year-old without consent in a dormitory at a teacher education institute in Besut on September 17, 2016. Muhammad Harman Faiz was found guilty under the Penal Code for sodomy, and the court has ordered him to undergo counselling while serving time in prison, as well as to be put under a 2-year police supervision upon his release. In Pulau Pinang, a father who poured hot water on 2 of his children out of anger was sentenced to 4. When we return, Pakistan thwarts attempt by Indian submarine from entering its waters in latest conflict. Stay with us. Now on to the Brexit updates. British Brexit Minister Stephen Barclay has asked the European Union for its formal views on a proposal to preserve citizens' rights in the event of a no-deal Brexit. In a letter published by the government on Tuesday, the UK welcomed the Commission's request for EU members to adopt a generous approach to British citizens living in the bloc. The government, which had particular concerns in relation to healthcare arrangements, will consider solutions that will ensure that the arrangements for citizens are safeguarded in all scenarios. Last month, the UK government adopted a proposal to ensure that the safeguards on the rights of British citizens living in the EU and vice versa be ensured regardless of whether a Brexit deal is agreed upon.
Speaker, will the Leader of the House please give us the forthcoming business?
Leader of the House.
Moving on now, the Pakistan Navy on Tuesday has claimed that it had thwarted an attempt by an Indian submarine to enter the country's territorial waters. The naval forces claimed that it was the second attempt since November 2016 that they have caught the Indian Navy trying to enter the country's territorial waters. The Indian submarine, however, was not targeted, keeping in view Pakistan's policy of peace, under which Islamabad wants to de-escalate tensions with New Delhi. The development on Tuesday comes as tensions between New Delhi and Islamabad remain high following an attack in Pulwama, in which 40 Indian soldiers were killed. India blamed Pakistan for the attack, which it said was carried out by Pakistani-based Jaish-e-Mohammed. Pakistan, however, has denied the allegations. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us. Malaysian Super League champions Johor Darul Takzim JDT did themselves proud despite a 2-1 defeat to reigning champions Kashima Antlers in their AFC Champions League Group E debut in Japan on Tuesday. It took the J-League side 43 minutes to break the JDT defence through Taiki Hirato before Serginho made it 2-0 for the home side with a curling effort in the 56th minute. However, Brazilian striker Luis Santos scored JDT's first ever goal in the AFC Champions League in the 80th minute. JDT will next play South Korea's Gyeongnam FC on March 12th at the Tan Sri Dato' Haji Hassan Yunos Stadium in Larkin. Hero pilot Abhinandan, who was released by the Pakistan military shortly after his capture, came home to a massive fan base that scrambled to imitate his prominent moustache as a tribute. Calling it the Abhinandan Mooch, netizens are posting up photos of them sporting the trendy beard. A compilation of the trend wraps up Nightline this time around. I'm Raymond Goh. Thank you so much for your company.